thankful for what you got. Though you may not try, but baby, can down in the back, sun to the top, digging and sing with a gangster white wall. TV, television in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Down in the back, sun to the top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Down in the back, sun to the top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Down in the back, sun to the top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Though you may not try, a great big can against the white wall. TV and television back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall.
How's everybody doing tonight? You know, I kind of find it ironic that the subject of my show tonight is East Cleveland, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it was just funny that when I logged on tonight, I see that I had a message from former mayor Eric Brewer, you know, and I'm not going to stoop to his level, but he is just one of the things that is seriously wrong with the city of East Cleveland. The politicians, for whatever reason, choose East Cleveland to bleed the life out of. You know, the city is already in dire straits, and the politicians in East Cleveland have used the city for their own personal gain rather than for the gain of the people. Say what's up to my man Kendall Sharif. I see you on board. Thanks a lot for tuning in. East Cleveland really needs a complete overhaul as far as the politicians are concerned. Just look at the past mayors. You know, you had Anwar went to jail. You had Eric Brewer cross-dressing. It's just, you know, it's just a bad situation. But, you know, especially with election time coming up, you know, you have all the politicians coming around soliciting votes from us. And I think the thing that we have to understand is politicians don't make us. We make politicians. So the next time that the politicians come around soliciting votes, you know, walking around on their hands and knees, telling you they can do all kind of things for your votes, you know, hold them accountable. You know, the thing with politicians is, you know, they come around during campaign time and they'll probably do anything for your vote, but once they get it, they go right back to being crooks. You know, that's just a way of life, you know. But Another thing I want to discuss real quick before I really get into um, the topics that I want to get into tonight is our grassroots effort as far as cleaning up one block at a time, going through, cleaning up our communities, reclaiming our communities. We went down on Wymore and Elderwood. People took time out of their day, volunteered, came down there, and did a tremendous job at making that area much safer for the women and children. So I rode through the day just to take a look at it, and I saw that there had been some commercial dumping. Now, how is it that the police in East Cleveland can smell a youngster on the other side of East Cleveland selling a nickel bag, but they cannot catch companies from other cities driving big dump trucks, pickup trucks full of waste into East Cleveland and dumping? How is that possible? And that brings me to one of the first things I want to discuss about East Cleveland is I did a video that I put on Facebook a couple of weeks ago in which I was walking through the city, and I made the comment that East Cleveland has a black mayor, a black chief of police, a black judge, all black city council, but white cops are allowed to come through the city and abuse our kids on a regular basis. Now, I also said that nowhere else on the planet will you find an all-white community that will allow a black man to come into the community and be a police officer and treat their kids the way they treat ours. Now, I had to think about that a lot after I said that, because certain things came to me. I think who is actually worse than the white police that come into our communities and dog our kids, I think the black cops that stand there by their side and assist in this are a million times worse than them. How is it that Chief Spots is black? How does he allow this under his watch? I'm just saying, eventually something has to change about this. This is just, it's getting to the point where it's out of hand. I ride through the city. I see the kids out here. I see the police. Let me clarify something first. When I talk to the kids, I explain to them that when you sign up for the game, you sign up for everything that comes along with the game. You sign up to be harassed by the cops. You sign up to be robbed, killed, sent to the penitentiary. Those are the rules of the game. But I watched the police just go overboard on a lot of things whenever they're dealing with our black youth. I watched the police pull a youngster's pants down, search him all crazily out in the middle of the street, slam him on his head, basically just beat him down, violate all his civil and constitutional rights. Now, where I come in is that I plan to teach the youngsters exactly what their civil and constitutional rights are. See, the rules, the new rules of the game are, if you're going to be in the game, you got to know the rules. So when cops, especially here in East Cleveland, when the cops just dog you, violate your civil and your constitutional rights, you have to sue them. You have to understand that that police union that they think is just ever so mighty is not mighty enough to stand up to civil and constitutional rights violations. So we have to get something done about really the whole police force in East Cleveland. If it was up to me, I would just get rid of maybe 99% of them and just start from scratch. Because for a black cop to just stand there and watch a white cop just abuse and dog our kids, that's a hell of a thing. You know, how is it that they can allow that without thinking about how they would feel if that kid that the white cop was dogging and abusing was their own child? You know, I'm quite sure none of the police would want their kids to walk through that area of Elderwood and Wildmore that we went over there and cleaned up. I'm quite sure that the white cops who live in other communities would not allow somebody from East Cleveland to come to their community and dump roofing materials, garbage, anything, you know, in their communities. They wouldn't go for that. So why should we have to go for that? Hello. 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 Yes, who's this? Who? You? Oh, what's up? You watching this? Are you watching my show?
Trying to get in, but am I too late?
No, I got you on the air right now. I'm talking to you live on the air.
Oh, okay. What's going on, man? I just trying to get in and listen to you, man. I love what you're doing, so.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If you go on my Facebook page, you can click on the link. I put the link on my Facebook page, so you can go to my page, click on the link, and then it'll put you live on the air with me.
Okay.
All right, but I said, you know, tonight's show, I'm just talking about, you know, good, the bad, and the ugly, all of East Cleveland, you know, and I was just talking about how the white cops dog our youth, but was actually worse than the white cops are the black cops who stand there and allow it to happen. You know, so I'm gonna touch on a few different subjects tonight pertaining to the city of East Cleveland, and I'm gonna talk about some upcoming political races in East Cleveland and why, you know, if the truth be told, we shouldn't vote for any of the candidates. You know, none of the candidates have proven themselves worthy of a vote for me yet. Anyway. So, you got anything? Like I said, I got you live on the air right now. You want anything else you want to say?
Well, I mean, what do you feel about that city council, that lady, the president of the city council? What is your opinion of her?
You talking about Joy Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm back. If you know any of my history, you know I used to somewhat date a woman who was the director of community development for the city of East Cleveland. So I was able to be in contact with Joy Jordan. You know, a lot of the people that are in office now, you know, I was able to deal with them on a more personal type basis. As a human being, I like Joy Jordan. I think she is a nice woman. She's an East Clevelander. I think that she may have good intentions, but the one detracting factor from Joy Jordan is the fact that she has Eric Brewer behind her, sort of directing her every move. So basically what I'm saying, not to sugarcoat anything, is she is almost a hand puppet for Eric Brewer. And, and everybody know, Brewer is still going through his mental issues about being outed as a cross-dresser. So what I think is the best route for the city of East Cleveland to go is to just do a clean sweep and get rid of everybody. You know, just get some new faces in here, start new, but it's kind of crazy, and I think some of our black mentality has been damaged stemming from slavery. But the politicians in East Cleveland, I don't think any of them really truly want to do anything to help the people of the city of East Cleveland. I think they look at, well, this is a good job, the prestigious job, the title or whatever, and then they try to funnel as much money from as many different avenues as they possibly can to themselves. For example, when Eric Brewer was the mayor, not only did he pay himself the mayor's salary, I can't think of what other title he claimed, but he was paying himself like 2-3 different salaries from 2-3 different titles. And also the current mayor, Gary Norton, he does the identical same thing. He pays one salary from being the mayor, and then I don't know if it's something pertaining to safety or it's some other title that they also claim and pay themselves that salary.
What do you think, man? I mean, that city has always come up with like corrupt. I mean, what's going to take to I mean, because it's like every time you turn around, when one mayor come in there, the next mayor coming in with the same corrupt attitude. I mean, what is it going to take, brother? I mean, I really want to know. I just sit back and see the things that's going on, and then it's just amazing. It's amazing, man. Because one time, how many times we don't have to see it?
You know what I think? I think that the answer lies with our youth. Now, I think grown-ups, we've shot our shot. I understand we can make changes, but the reality is, I think that we need to reach the kids at Shaw High School right now. Kids that are from East Cleveland, kids from this area, but they have to go out, become educated, and then want to come back to the city of East Cleveland to make a difference. I think that when you have been raised in a certain area, you learn to love that area. That's like one thing about people from Cleveland, people from East Cleveland. No matter how bad it is, you have a lot of love of where you come from. People can talk about how bad Cleveland and East Cleveland is nationally, but the people here love where they're from. So I think that it's going to take somebody that's basically homegrown to say, all right, I really want to make a change, and then come up through the ranks and put themselves in that position, run for city council, run for mayor, be genuine about, the changes that you want to make, be genuine about everything. And I think that's what it's going to take to really turn this thing around properly. Now, see, all right, I'm going to let you go. Let me see if I can get any more callers in. But I appreciate you calling in. Click on the link and check me out. I appreciate that. I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Juan. All right, stay safe. All right, thanks, Kenneth. You're right. The mayor pays himself from the mayor's salary and also the safety director's salary. The truth be told, there are a lot of wonderful things in the city of East Cleveland. I'm just saying, sometimes I ride around and I look at things. There are plenty of streets in the city of East Cleveland that are well kept. There are plenty of streets in East Cleveland that have homeowners that take great care of their properties. There are plenty of streets in East Cleveland where the residents of that street are proud to be homeowners. Take great care of everything they have. They get along, but you never hear about that. You know, all you hear about are the desolate areas, you know, and that's kind of what needs to be changed. I think that from the mayor on down, they should all think to themselves, okay, everything that's going on in the city of East Cleveland, if it affected my kids or if it affected my family the way that it affects everyone else's family, what would I do about it? You know, I think, especially with the elections coming up, we have to put the politicians on the spot. You know, when they come around talking about vote for me, you know, ask them why. You know, why should I vote for you? You know, put them on the spot and be serious about it. You know, the main reason to me right now that there's so much nonsense going on in the city of East Cleveland is because there's no accountability. Nobody takes accountability for their actions. You know, when I was growing up, one of the rules that I grew up by was you always kept your fronts up. No matter how broke you were, you kept your fronts up. So how is it that Euclid Avenue looks as run down as it does? That should never happen under any mayor's watch. You know, Euclid Avenue is where people from all neighboring cities drive through and look. So how can it be so run down that it contributes to the negative connotation of the city of East Cleveland? How is that? It should never be that way. I think that everybody must accept responsibility for what is going on, from the mayor, all his cabinet, everybody all the way down to the residents. But as a resident, we should hold the politicians accountable for everything they do and everything that they promise and don't do. You know, if it was up to me, I don't think either candidate right now in the city of East Cleveland, like I said, I don't think either one of them is worthy of my vote, because I don't think any of them have the best interest of the residents. I don't think they have the best interest of the city. I don't think they have the best interest of anybody at hand other than themselves. So I want to thank my man Kenneth Sharif for sharing things in the chat room. I was looking on here as I was talking, but I don't know if you can see everything that he's posting in the chat room. You know, he has the ACLU, the new rules, 18776 profile. Hold on one second. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I really want to commend you guys all on what you're doing. I've been kind of listening to your stream for a little while.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know if I could comment.
Yeah, I got you live on the air now. Go ahead. What you need? What you want to say?
Well, I just want to say I agree with you on a lot of the issues. I was born and raised most of my life in EC, and you know, it's very hard to go back now sometimes and look at a lot of the, you know, very despondent and dilapidated areas. A lot of the stuff that is going on, you know, with the mayor's office, and you know, they're very self-serving, and I don't really think that they are doing enough for the people of the city, it seems like they're all about the take, take, take.
Correct. I agree with you.
And one of the other things for me was a group from Cleveland State. We got some land from the land bank. We got permission to use. We went over there about a little over a year ago, and some real nice burger feeder, picnic tables was put in a grill. Cemented a grill in and cleaned up, a couple streets. Here, and it's really sad. I mean, it wasn't even 8 hours later. People came and stole the grill, stole the flowers, stole the bird feeders, and it was really sad because a lot of people put a lot of work into that.
Right.
So for a lot of the area, and for all the people that do care about what's going on over there to be done, unfortunately, there's still a lot of people that don't care, and they ruin, some of the effort. So I think that one of the things that we need to do as a whole is to get more people involved and make them take more ownership.
Correct. Let me touch on something that you just said. I understand where you're coming from as far as getting out there and putting forth an effort, and then have somebody just come desecrate your effort. I understand how that feels, but the one thing I think we have to understand is a lot of the people who come out and desecrate our efforts, they have not been taught differently. And I think the key to everything is actually starting with them. Like when I'm out here, I try to talk to a lot of the kids out in the street, but they have to, I think just like being disrespectful is a learned behavior, I think being respectful is also a learned behavior. So we have to start with them and teaching them to first start taking pride in the community. It's hard to harm that which you love. So if we can teach them to take pride in the community, it would make it a lot more difficult when they see people come out and clean up, put forth to make the communities better. It would make it harder for them to come behind us and mess it up. But also another aspect of that is, I think when we go out into the neighborhoods and clean up and do those type of things, I think it's also important to include the people who live on that particular street to join in the efforts. I think if they join in, if they join in and help you clean up, I don't think they coming behind you messing it up if they put in a hard day's work like that. So
I completely agree. I think also another aspect we need to, consider is, besides educating people, we need to educate people that are voting for these politicians and people that they put in office.
Exactly.
I think it's a direct one.
Go ahead.
People that we put in office. So I think we should be more educated and make better choices as far as that's concerned. So we can actually have people in there who really care about the community. Because Gary Norton doesn't live in D.C.
No?
So he's not going to care about it as much as somebody who has roots there and grew there. And,
Right. See, and that's another thing I was touching on a little bit earlier. The thing is, politicians don't make us, we make politicians. When they come around on their hands and knees begging for votes, we should really pay attention to what's going on. Why? And this is what I tell the kids, in the different neighborhoods. Why do you think that these politicians come down here to talk to you, during election time when they never come down here and talk to you any other time? That should kind of tell you the importance of the power in voting. I think that we really have to teach our youth the power in voting and actually encourage them to exercise that right. A lot of times people say, well, I won't make a difference if I do, if I don't. But getting out and voting makes a tremendous difference.
Agreed. I just wanted to give you guys all a shout out and tell you I really love what you're doing and I really appreciate you.
Okay, I appreciate you calling in.
Know what you're doing.
All right, thanks a lot. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Have a good evening.
You too. All right. All right, I've been on here a little bit too long tonight. Just, you know, like I said, my shows, they'll get a little bit better the more I go along. But, you know, I'm doing my thing every Wednesday at 10. I'll be on here doing my thing. You know, I want to thank everybody that called in tonight, everybody that's watching, everybody in the chat room, you know what I'm saying, everybody that watched the show on the replay during the week. You know, thanks a lot. But like I say, every Wednesday, 10 o'clock, I'll be on here doing my thing. You know, everybody stay safe. Peace.
You may not have a car.